All right, I think I'm live streaming. I'm not sure. Oh, it didn't go live. Okay. Bear with me for a second here, folks. All right. Appreciate this. This is the Rodney Clay Show. We're doing a live thing over Zoom, over YouTube, which is kind of new for me because I usually have the luxury of setting everything up and being able to edit it and everything like that. But I wanted to be able to do less editing, and just get it going from the muscle. So this is pretty good. I got a few things here I wanted to show. So basically, I got a guest here, and with that guest, I'll just guess we'll just get the party started on a live note. All right, and I just got to do this for the YouTube. Okay, and here we go.
And my question is like, how much news coverage is this
That's
dude
what
getting?
that's what I'm saying. It's no, they don't. You're not getting this, bro. You're not gonna get this news
You know why?
because they don't. First of all, hold on. We're gonna break it down because a whole bunch went wrong.
I'm not getting this news coverage because it's like,
Look, 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 look. Yeah. All right. So that's that, right?
uh,
Hold on. Let me swap out. Okay. And stop share. Okay. That was one thing that this drove me to all these type of thoughts. Right. First of all, how can you get yourself? How are you allowing yourself to get arrested? I'm confused. You're all dressed up, and I don't want to say it like that because it'll be like, of course, it's always easy to kill another black person, like another person. Oh, shut up, nigga, you know what I'm saying. So I don't want, you know what I'm saying. But all I know is that that's why I never really jumped to it when I saw them coming out. I was like, yo, kudos to you. Now I hope you just chill. Because to me, it would have been a better move to come out deep with all those guns and then just be like, yo, whatever happened to those guys? Be like, no, they still around. Like, you don't know. But when it became like a thing, it felt like there was like a way to vet out people who would do something. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's like, why are you gonna get put on a bulletproof vest and you got your guns and your bullets, and now the cops gonna be like, "Come on, you're coming with us." That's not really gonna happen. You know what I'm trying to say? It doesn't happen. No. You know what I'm trying to say? I'm very confused, and that's the main issue I got with it. Like, then all of a sudden, I got some more stuff with Grandmaster Jay, just talking in general. But
Well, I say it like this. It's like, um, it the way it is, he probably it was an accidental discharge or whatever the case may be, or something like that nature. But it's like my thing was, how did he get arrested, and why did he get arrested, and where the coverage
right.
was? Because like you don't sometimes you don't see all this information just flying across your timeline. You'll see something stupid flying across your timeline, but like I got lucky because I followed someone. Somebody posted a picture, and guess what? That was the only person on my timeline that posted something about, in fact, the whole thing.
Uh-huh.
So it's like not nobody. It's like there's no coverage on this. Nobody's spreading, sharing, liking, none of this
It's
stuff.
not. It's not, and that's what I'm saying. That's what it comes to that point where I'm like, something's going on where who influences our majority opinion? Where it's like we can all on a majority, not like Donald Trump, but on a level of anything else we don't know about nothing else. And then that's why I said, whenever somebody said they don't like Trump, I'll always say, what did he do wrong? And then they can never tell me. But it's like they'll be like vehemently, like passionately angry towards him. You know what I'm trying to say? And then like I said, distractions, because this Grandmaster Jay thing, it always felt fishy to me. It was just like, who does this? Like, I was more nervous. Like, yo, you get ready to take us to war. It's not like I cannot fight once I gotta fight. But it's like, Dad, you calling it, you know what I'm saying? You charging head forth. Now I was expecting a different situation. I was not expecting him to be able to allow himself to be arrested. You know what I'm trying to say? And I mean, it might be. I'm not trying to talk mortar talk, but it's just like, like how we just watched that guy get arrested. It's like, where do they do that at? How are you going to be this thing that you're talking about on that level, but you peacefully coming in the car and the guy with the gun was like, back up, it's like, come on, yo, you got a gun too? Like, you supposed to, when you come out and catch the plane or whatever you doing with your gun and your vest on, you're supposed to realize you might not be coming home. And what's the scenario that makes you not come home? When they pull up with their guns in the car and then take you away. You can't do that. I'm just saying, you can't do that. That's just, you don't do that. You military? You military? You not military. Come on. The military teach you not to. You cannot surrender. I'm sure there's some rules to it, but come on, man. You're not going to surrender. I'm sure
I
there's,
mean,
there's soldiers that surrendered in war. John McCain was even, but I'm sure John McCain was captured. He probably didn't have no more bullets left. You know what I'm trying to say? You shoot at your enemy. You know what I'm trying to say? And I'm not, and again, I'm not the guy with a gun, wearing a bulletproof vest, parading my gun outside. That's not what I'm doing. That's why I'm freely saying this. Because I feel like if you're going to come out with your gun and you talking all that talk, then did you not think something was going to pop off? It don't matter in what form it comes at you. Why would you not think that they're going to come at you, doggy? Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, you're supposed to, like, dag, okay, well, somebody, you did a good thing, but I don't know. Anyway, I wanted to.
Yeah, I'm reading the screen right now. So
Of the NFAC, a black militia group that made its presence known in Louisville this summer, is now facing federal charges. WDRB's
they
Hayden
trying to put him
Rostetsky explains what he's accused of doing here that landed him behind bars. Hayden?
Fallon, this man might look familiar to you. He's known as Grandmaster Jay, the leader of the NFAC militia group, but his real name is John Fitzgerald Johnson. Johnson and his group marched in Louisville twice this summer amid protests over the police killing of Breonna Taylor. The militia was last here on Derby weekend demonstrating outside of Churchill Downs, but Johnson's charges stem from the night before the Kentucky Derby. The FBI says these photos show Johnson pointing his AR platform rifle at several police officers on the roof of a building. Those officers were from the FBI, the U.S. Secret Service, and LMPD. This happened near Jefferson Square Park. Law enforcement officers were stationed on rooftops downtown most nights of the protests. Johnson is now facing a charge of assaulting, resisting, or impeding officers. The maximum sentence is up to 20 years in federal prison. Johnson is currently being held at the Oldham County Jail. And in a news release, U.S. Attorney Russell Coleman said Kentucky reveres First and Second Amendment freedoms, not foolishness, which puts police and protesters at risk.
Yeah, so that's that bull crap.
but you know what's crazy is you see him. Wait, you see him marching with his weapons, right? But have you seen during those protests where they talking about where they went to with their weapons to the Capitol buildings, talking about they don't want to wear masks, and you ain't hear nothing about none of those folks during all those times getting arrested.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I'm not. Of course they're gonna. That's why I said, like, you can't. How far? What? How does this turn out? I don't know. Like, I'm not saying. I'm not. I had nothing bad to say
But you
against him at
got
all.
look at
But I'm just.
look what I'm telling you. He brought guns to protest, and they arrest him. But these people went to the Capitol building with guns to protest about wearing masks, and nobody got arrested. And then on top of that, you got this kid that's going to trial for shooting people during a protest or whatever the case may be, and he ain't even live in the state. It wasn't even. It's not like he had a registered gun and he was supposed to use it or whatever the case may be. And he got bailed. He get some My Pillow CEO or whatever the case may be. So you gotta really wake up and smell the bacon in America, because it's like in reality, it's like you gotta see how things turn out, man. It is what it is. Like, if you really think this person that was in office really related to people that look just like you or me, you gotta be crazy.
But I think Biden does. I don't. You know what I'm saying? I think not to say that Joe Biden has like a thing against. I don't think him or Joe Biden has a thing against black people. But I think Trump is more likely to be able to do something good for you, just so you can recognize it and say thank you. Whereas Biden is more looking past you. Like, Biden's mind is thinking globally, but I don't mean that in a positive way. I'm talking about just like, like it's a lot of like Trump was being more detailed. When he said, let's focus on America, he's being detailed. He paid attention to the data on a detail level and was like, these jobs are going out of America. Because it takes strategic planning to figure out how you're going to get companies to bring jobs back to America. How you're going to put tariffs against China so that China was paying like $1 billion a month back to America. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, he was really doing stuff that nobody's gonna know that he did, because the media, while he was fighting, trying to do stuff, it was against an agenda, which was global, IMF and stuff, International Monetary Fund, the Rothschilds, these type of people, the Queen of England. Like, if you look at when he came into office, everybody was mad with this guy. England didn't like him. Why you don't like him? He was an elected president. What's wrong? They was all snot nose.
But you know what?
They knew that he crashed their party. They was that
all
much
the communists,
to,
all the communists or dictators like this guy, Putin, the Chinese guy Zhao. They like him because you know what? He wants to be a part of the dictator club. You can't read that, man. I don't know what it is. He don't want. And most of those countries, people don't have rights. So I don't see how you can see that.
I agree. See, that's the thing. That's the thing about America, especially in unison with the Constitution, because in America, everybody is a king or a queen. Literally, like you get a little house, you get a house. Legally, you can have stuff set up just how you want it. Disclosure agreements and stuff. You could do all types of stuff. Like, trust me. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's like, but he does have that dictator, authoritative type of personality. But when in harmony with the Constitution, he is restricted in certain ways also. That kind of personality, I would say, is an A-type personality. And obviously he has that because that's how he is a boss. Like I don't understand how nobody doesn't want to see him as that. This guy has his hands in everything all around the world. You know what I'm trying to say? Like I'm talking about, like he gets involved with different minor league base. He puts his name on stuff, golf. You know, it's a whole bunch of people that do that. He would just be still a household name and a very liked and respected person if he didn't go into politics. Politics always gets dirty. And once he got into politics, and he's in a position where he can have his opinion put into action, especially on an executive order level, he was a threat to the powers that be. He wasn't a threat to the American people. It can't get much worse than what was already happening. Y'all put us in wars. Y'all make agreements with other countries that affect us. We don't even know about it. All of a sudden, there's no jobs. He was the person that was paying attention to that and trying to fix it. He really was. I mean, he just simply was. Like, you know, it wasn't something that came bad out of him being the president. It wasn't something that was different. Even with Barack Obama, it was much death that happened with Barack Obama. Like, you know, I mean, of course, they had to kill Bin Laden, they had thing. But I'm just saying, if it was him on his leisure, I think that you would have more of a reverse on society for being traditional. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, if they were trying to convince us to be able to sign it to sexuality, I agree with that. I'm for that. But when it comes to the point where you're being very disgusting about it, you know what I'm trying to say? Where it's like, talking loud out the mouth about it. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I got footage of it was a group of transvestite men. They beat the stew out of this man in a subway because he yelled out to them, if you can't be a woman if you got a dick. Maybe 7 of them. And they beat the shit out of him. Let me see if I can pull it up. I mean, these are the kind of situations that, you know, and that's small. I mean, it's anything. And I'm not saying, because I hear myself say it does kind of sound like I'm saying they should stay in their place or something. No, I'm just saying, like, I feel like we were pushing a new agenda.
No,
we didn't get any closure or even deal with real issues that dealt with life and death. Not saying that it wasn't homosexuals that were murdered because of being different and non-traditional, but I'm talking about like it's been women and men and children raped and murdered systematically as a part of the legal system of America for over 100 years, and we are the byproducts of that. And it has an effect on it, and they're just like, get over it. And that's cool, but now it's like, now we're going to, instead of focusing on these issues that makes us all have social PTSD, not to mention you showing us on the news every 5 minutes of a police officer who's supposed to represent the law, killing a man who's saying, please stop killing me. I can't breathe. Not just Staten Island. I forget his name. I'm seeing his face, but I'm just saying, Sergeant Plant.
I know who you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about? It's like, they make sure we see that.
Cigarettes?
Yeah, he's selling cigarettes, like, and he's saying, I can't breathe. Bro, you got him on the ground. It's like 20 other cops, his hands up, and he's saying, I can't breathe. And you're choking him to death. So, you know what I'm trying to say? It's like, I don't know. I don't remember even how I got to that. Oh yeah. Talking about the homosexual agenda in harmony with, and I don't want to say like homosexual agenda, like it's like, I don't want to make it sound bad, but I'm just saying it's like one of those things where it's like somebody said something, but it's something more urgent happening. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not gonna say it's bad because I don't want want you to broadcast anything negative, but I will say it's not conducive to nature or society as a whole. It's more of a personal thing that is it's for the individual, which kind of makes it that's what to society. And that's why I still believe that they were wrong for when they changed that as being a mental illness. It still is a mental illness for it's the inability to set one for themselves and to function as what they were meant to be.
Yeah. I mean,
That's an
yeah,
issue right there.
yeah. No,
Somebody
it's a conversation that needs to happen. Like it's a real. It's like
like you
in this world today. In order for us to really, in order for us to get to this utopia, which we have the potential to do, everything we need is here for us. If you need something, you can plant it in the ground. It grows. There's wood. There's metal. There's resources. It's just that it's a small group that decides what to do based on their own philosophies, and it's wrong. Whereas you do need more open source. You do need everybody to look at the same thing because we all are equal in the sense that we are all born out of a vagina and living on this planet. So that's what we have in common, and that's the we all need the oxygen. We all need to live. It's no reason why somebody else should be able to decide why another person shouldn't. Now you have those situations. Somebody murders somebody. Yeah, somebody should judge and decide that person should die, especially depending on how you murdered them. All that is agreed. You know what I'm trying to say? But so when it comes to sexuality, yeah, I understand. Listen, it's real simple to reform that. You just simply have a real conversation, and just holding that thought.
But you open that door, you gotta realize this. Like once they open to certain doors, now you starting to get the pedophiles in there into the same group.
Right.
Well, now you done started something, and next thing you know, they're gonna talk about chickens and dogs and cats and all this other
I agree.
stuff. So
that's why I said. But now, if they wanted to make it simple, they would just simply do it like you do what we was just talking about, how they're rewriting the law about slavery. You just put it in books. You educate people. It's not hard to understand. You just listen. This is the penis is used to go inside the vagina to ejaculate the sperm so they can go into the ovum. It also could be used to go inside of a chicken or a sheep or a hole in a tree or in the palm of your hand. If you want to do something else with it. It's like a fork is for eating food, but you can also use it to comb your hair. Now, the point of the fork is to eat with food. So the point of your penis is for procreation. The pleasure side of it, you can do what you like with it. So if you want to fuck a man, that's cool. But understand how the function of the penis works in this combination of the testicles and the prostate and sperm and stuff like this and the ovaries and the ovum and the vagina and fluids, and it just works that way. That's that. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't mean you can't reverse engineer. And then story closed. You know what I'm trying to say? So people are going to have a certain point of view based on a book that, in their opinion, fell out of heaven from God called the Bible or the Quran or the Torah or the Bhagavad Gita, whatever it is. They got some holy book that's telling them how they're supposed to live. And all these conversations need to happen. But meanwhile, you have a race of people in America and on the planet who are traumatized because they're blatantly and publicly and openly being taken advantage of. There's no other way to say it. You go into Africa, it's not your land. You go there to kill animals, steal the gold, the oil, the platinum, the resources, the people. You murder them, you cut their heads off. You got China going over there. It's so much stuff that goes on. And it's like, if we're all seeing it, why aren't we in the mood to step up for it? You know what I'm trying to say? And so when you have in Barack Obama's leisure time, and what he does is work on, and it doesn't have to be black issues, because since he's black, maybe it could be something else. But I think that social aspect of it just already speaks, because everything is relative. It's like, well, if this is what you not just take away his healthcare plan was bomb. You know what I'm saying? That was dope. You know what I'm trying to say? He was motivated by his mom to do that. You know what I'm saying? That's his real passion. So I'm not even going to put something else besides that on him. You know what I'm trying to say? But, everybody's got an agenda. Donald Trump's agenda was a lot, if I look at it from a psychological point of view, it was a fair thing. When you start to personalize America and separate it, that might not be the best idea. But at the same time, you could tell based on his actions as far as how he dealt with the Mexicans. Like, the cages was no good. Put them up somewhere. It would have went much smoother if they were just out of sight and the images we saw was like, oh, they were like in a hotel room type of environment. Cool. Then we don't need to know nothing else. But when y'all like putting them in cages, that's wrong. You know what I'm saying? The war would have went a lot better if you could have just detained them. But when you start not treating them like human beings, everybody's going to feel bad for it. Now, if they were Africans, nobody give a damn because it's happening in Libya and nobody gives a damn. But I guess it's happening in America also. But hold on, I want to show you this. Speaking on like the transsexuals and the agendas. This is a group of this guy yelled out, in order to be a woman, you can't have a penis. And those are men, by
Yeah, he got mopped.
Yeah, man. I mean, those were men. You know what I'm saying? That was men beating up a man because they were offended.
Well, that's what it is, man. In America now, people get offended. They want to do something to you, or they want to say you're a phobe or you're this or that, and it's like, why can't you just take it? Because you know what? Most people, when they lash out like that, it's not even about being offended. It's something in them that kind of, this person actually said what kind of hurt me because I know this, but I don't need you telling me this out loud because, I'm fighting it myself on the inside as well as the outside, and then the rest of the world. These people are really fighting the rest of the world. Like you gotta think of it like this. That mindset is like a rebel mindset. Like I'm going against the grain type of situation.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's what I think. And it's like,
and it takes a certain level of bravery. I mean, I'm a man. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what they say about how they feel inside. They have a penis, so they feel like a man. Like I don't know. I'm not trying to say it in like different way, and I'm not trying to say we all feel the same and stuff. But there is a certain commonality. You know what I'm trying to say? So this is a man who's putting on panties and a dress with high heels on, and he's conscious about it. That's just obvious. There's no reason why you would beat him up. Why would you beat the guy up if he's saying his opinion? And he was saying a fact. You can't be a woman if you have a penis. That's just a fact. You know what I'm trying to say? And it's like, that was very violent.
But you know what? People, like you said, there's people that's protecting this type of behavior because it's like, oh, you're a phobe or you're this or you're that. Right. So it's like, and that's
what I'm saying. This conversation at this level and with this level of constitutional protection, it's like because they're getting this momentum based on civil rights and the civil rights that was put in place for black people after being murdered, hung from trees publicly, like literally, and during the same time while they're being sent over to go to Germany and to go to war, it was still black people being hung from trees. That's like just ridiculous, and for it not to be addressed. But it's like, now a man wants to wear a dress and he beats up a guy in the subway and he's got civil rights. I'm just saying it's wrong. You know what I'm trying to say? I'm not trying to say that a man that wants to wear a dress is wrong. And that's what it is. It doesn't matter what you say. You can say, don't identify, whatever you say, that's fine. But I mean, according to language,
you gotta
there's
realize,
male
man,
and female, and that's based on the gender, not just on how you feel inside, but the physical gender. That's how this determination is made. So it's like,
But
I can
that's the
understand
thing.
going
When you
against
had
that grain, but let's close one chapter first. Let's fix us first before. And black people, we always trying to jump on anything. We just looking for some kind of salvation. That's why we went to Christianity. We just looking for something that's going to be better than this hell. Where if I walk down the street, you already got this whole idea of who I am. Like, you understand? Do you understand what that does? And it doesn't matter if we can't articulate that that's what it is. We all feel that. And we never get to cuddle up amongst ourselves and do it. You know what I'm trying to say? We hate each other because when we see each other, we reminded of our situation. We want to at least be an individual and different from it. You know what I'm trying to say? Whereas it was better when the oppression was more obvious, because then it was like we can see clearly who doesn't, that they got the red shirts, we got the blue shirts. It's clear. But now it's like you don't even have civil rights no more. They choked this guy out on the street, Breonna Taylor. It's just so many things where obviously, I mean, it could just be me as a black person, but I think most black people, you expect the police to be like that. You don't expect the you know what I'm saying? We've always been treated like a foreigner in our own country, even though we was here before the foreigners. That's a reality that needs to be addressed. Not a man who feels like he's a woman. That's cool. That's a personal thing. That's not a thing where these are national and global campaign where my suffering doesn't matter anymore, and my suffering is doing through generations. The way my parents raised me is based on oppression and from how their parents raised, and how their parents and how their
But
all that comes from a time where you walk down the street and you had no rights.
The thing about their fight is not their fight and our fight is different because we were born the way we are, and we're not trying to change the way we were born. We're trying to change the way people treat us because of the way we were born. While they're trying to change the narrative where it is, they want to change who they are, and they want people to treat them because they want to be felt the way that they say they are, what they say they are, not what they actually are.
Right.
It's that mindset. Like it's like you see me, I'm black, and you're black, and it's like, all right, you're treating me wrong because you see that I'm visibly black. But then again, they want to say, well, you're a guy, and then they're going to turn around and say, well, I'm a girl. And it's like, no. You're physically a guy. You were born a guy.
Right.
You're this guy, and you want people to treat you like a girl because you say you're a girl. That makes no sense.
Right. And it's like fantasy land. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's like when you go to a party and you got to put on a sticker and it says, "Hi, my name is Jeff." It's like you can put whatever name you want and you're talking, and whatever it is, it could be Alcoholics Anonymous, it could be whatever, cosplay, whatever. That is like that's an incubated bubble area for you to do that thing. Okay, this is what, my name is John and I'm a lumberjack. That's cool. But in real life, it's real issues. George Floyd is a real issue. Kicking in a person's door and murdering them in their bed is a real issue. And I'm talking about that's an issue in itself, but without justice, without it being swiftly dealt with, is an issue. And it's like for us to even be distracted by conversations that might not affect the majority of people. If you feel as a man, if you're a person with a penis and testicles and you feel like you're a woman, that's cool. That is really, really so cool. But that's something you have to deal with. That's not a national issue that precedes or that is more important than human lives. You know what I'm trying to say? We need to square this thing away. You know what I'm trying to say? But I just want to I wanted to share screen again. I got something with the what's our guy, Grandmaster Jay. I didn't see this yet.
Everybody, this is your man, Chuck Creekmer, aka Jigsaw. AllHipHop.com is here once again with the real Grandmaster Jay. How are you doing today, my brother?
Brother, I'm glad
Volume
to be here,
kinda
brother.
low.
I'm glad to see you. Still see that you're still black. Can't say that for too many others, but so am I. So real glad to be here.
Still black, bro. It ain't gonna change. So I want to jump. Let's just jump right into it. I know you are a busy man. I know that you have been on the front lines in so many different ways. in thought as well as action. First things first, though, you have this formation coming in Louisville in defense of Breonna Taylor. Can you tell our audience, as well as others that may be watching, from your words, why you are going there with your organization?
One word: frustration. We have sat back and we have watched them drag their feet. We have watched the lack of transparency as far as what's going on. We have watched other people go in and try to demonstrate and protest to raise awareness around the issue. We have watched the lack of information that has not come out from the powers to be that are in that area. And then we have watched the city pretty much just dissolve into a place of chaos. And I've been to Louisville before, and I don't ever remembering seeing it like that. So that means that there must be a serious problem. We have watched everyone from sports figures to entertainment celebrities call for the arrest of the officers. That hasn't happened. But most importantly, we have also watched what appears to be a lack of a conversation by the rest of the world around the death of this young lady, when everyone else was in an uproar over George Floyd, and for a brief while they were in an uproar over Ahmaud Arbery. It seems like Ms. Taylor was lost somewhere in the discussion. So we decided that we needed to send a stronger message, and that message needed to be not only seen but felt, and that the potential for a new level of resistance that hasn't been seen in America in over 60 years. That they didn't think existed anymore, that they thought that they had eradicated from the public psyche, that was not the case. We're not new, we've been coming for a minute. And now it would seem that it would be only logical for us to have our formation in Louisville and to open up a dialogue with the Attorney General, the governor, the mayor, the police chief, everyone else involved in finding out what exactly is going on and what is the holdup in what appears to many people to be a cut and dry case of a police screw up. And that is why, that's the motivation for us descending, as I've seen the newspapers call it, upon this town, when in actuality, just like any militia, we're holding a formation. Activists on the ground. That was broadcast. I think it's got like 30,000 views. It was requested by the powers to be that if they wanted to continue to have those discussions, that they become private. And I agreed to that, with the understanding that if I participate in this process with you, that what is going to have to happen is at some point, you're going to have to come out and acknowledge that we've had these discussions and whether or not they've been fruitful. The conversations have been fruitful. There's an article that was published today that I saw in the local papers and in the national papers, where they admitted that they've been in discussion with us and that everything has been positive. When I say positive, I don't mean that all of a sudden we know what's going to happen and when. What I mean is they've been very forthcoming and giving information to us in detail so that we have an understanding. Oh, this is what's going on. And so they have been fruitful. Additionally, even though they've been open with us, it doesn't change our mission. We're still coming. Right. So there's another discussion that had to be open. What are your intentions? What is it that you hope to achieve?
They got that guy, man. Hopefully it won't stick.
You will see. You will see.
Yeah, he should be. He might be able. He might be able to beat it. I hope so, man. I when I heard he got arrested, I was just like, I mean, I don't know. I was
have him sit up for a little bit. You know how it goes. You know, he got to fight for his freedom, his life.
But it can go either way. It can go so many ways, man. But I just don't know how. When you saw the footage they showed, right? They showed when they said
he was aiming at them.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I don't see how they didn't try to. It looks like me. He was looking down the sight somewhere, and it doesn't look like he was like aiming because like when you're aiming, you have a weapon in the pocket of your shoulder, and it doesn't look like he was really taking aim at anybody. So I don't know.
Yeah, nah, because they got. Let me see. They got it right there.
Secret Service and LMPD. This happened near Jefferson's.
You see, well, the circle is there in a way, but you see how his hand is.
Square Park. Law enforcement officers were stationed and LMPD. This happened near Jefferson Square Park.
Yeah, the way his hand is situated, it don't look like he's trying to shoot somebody. Then you can also look at everybody else around him. He's not.
Yeah,
they're not bracing for, battle. Yeah.
Enforcement officers.
So it's like it's something made up where they just saying like he looked like he was just checking the sights on somebody's weapon or something like that.
Right.
Or, like
or he could have been looking like, who's that on the roof? He's looking through his scope. I mean, that's what it's there for. But I don't know, man. I mean, like I look at all these guys here like this. It's like, I mean, I don't know why y'all are dressed up though. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? I'm not trying to come at him or them or anything like that, because they had the balls to do that. I don't have the balls to do that. I'm not saying don't have the balls to get geared up with a gun, but I just, in America, if I'm coming down like this and I'm with a group and we doing this, it's a good chance we're not going to be able to come home, fellas. You know that. We're a minority in America. We're not coming home, but you could make a statement.
No,
you know what I'm trying to say?
You forgot. You're trying to say if you was in charge, it's probably.
Oh yeah. He's probably handling it the best way. Like, listen, sometimes you just got to go hard.
Is that what
as hard as you can. Like, you know what I'm saying? Until he knew that obviously something was going to happen. He knew they was going to come at him. He didn't come in there not knowing. So, you know what I'm saying? I can't knock him for anything. I always held me back because it was like, listen, I'm not saying I wouldn't join a concept like this, but it would definitely be like in secret. I'm not going to be paraded in the street because
I'm telling you right now, they probably got him in there. They probably like, yo, we know what you're doing. They giving him the talk.
Right.
They giving him the talk right now inside. It's like, we know what you're doing. We're gonna let you sit here for a little bit, and then we're gonna talk to you. Like, we gotta put this nonsense behind you type situation. That's what they probably telling them.
Right.
They putting them through that.
Probably
putting them through the ringer.
Recruiting him. See, like, well, you listen. You're doing good. You got this. We want you to get these type of people. But,
they not recruiting him. They trying to discourage him. You're gonna tell him to disband.
I'm sure he's.
You need to quit all that nonsense.
With his military training, I'm sure that he's probably got generals and soldiers out for a plan B already. Like, okay, when this happens, whether they take me out on a prison level or they take me out, like, physically, then so they might be actually moving into phase 2. But I mean, like, to me, the guns part, and it's the kind of statement that I don't really want to make, because I don't want to make unless I have to, because I know if I do, it's like the David Goliath thing. Like, that's a nice group that you see there walking, but that's a helicopter with like 2 sharpshooters. Everybody's on, like, you know what I'm trying to say, or injured. You know what I'm trying to say, and I'm not trying to